Now let's take a look at how we construct this form. It's actually rather simple, and it's very much the same as you construct any form in HTML, except you're using FBML, the Facebook Markup Language elements, to construct the form. When the form is constructed, it's going to be submitted just as you would submit any HTML form, and the fields are going to be submitted as part of the request. So let's take a look at the fields themselves, and we'll start, in fact, with this dialog. I click here and I see a dialog pop up here, and in order to construct a box like that, I use the FB dialog element, which is right up here, and it has, I'll move this aside so you can map what's here to what's going on here. I click on it, and you can see there's a dialog title, What's a Zone, which is here. The dialog content is here, which is this whole line of text. And as you can see, the text can have HTML within it. So I could click here and generate an email message. And that's the dialog content element. And then at the bottom, I can have one or more buttons, dialog buttons. This is a button type, and this is an OK button. Here's the text. I could change that with the value, and it does close the dialog. That's all I do in order to create this pop-up dialog. Now, let's take a look at some of these fields that we're using here. For example, I have an editor text element. The label is pick name, which is over here. And the internal name for it is going to be name, and the initial value is blank. And that's the same thing for each of these first four fields. Now I have an FB editor custom element. Let's expand this, and you can see that what this has is within it, it has a selector, just as you would have any other HTML selector, and that's this big pop-up list here that's divided into two sections of Canadian provinces and US states. And this is plain old HTML here, and I come down to the bottom of that, and that's the end of the editor custom element. So that's what I did there. Now I have a handful of other text fields. Down here, I have that divider. I have a text area, which is a plain ordinary HTML text area, and then the same editor custom element for zone and for category. If I expand the one for zone, and I'll expand the one for category, you'll see that the one for category, let's scroll down here, is hard-coded. These are selector elements, and you can see them over here. But for this one, for zone, this is that function that I created inside the library. And what I'm going to do here is I have a selector, and I'm calling this code which calls doOneSelector, which is that function in the library. It will pass in a null, the value 1, and the code Plattsburgh. And let's come over here and take a look at lib.php. And what it does is it creates a selector that can be organized into categories. In this case, the first parameter is null, so there is no category. It takes a number, and it takes the title for that number. So it gives us a numeric value that is mapped to some text. In this case, I'm only creating one, but it can create this selector, this pop-up menu there, that could have a variety of values built dynamically. Where category is used, if it matches the number value that is passed in, then I'm going to select that particular value in the menu. And all this is doing is building ordinary everyday HTML code. And this is my first utility function, and this is where it's used. So that's how I construct the FB editor element. When someone clicks add pic, then the action, this file identified up here, is called, and now we'll take a look and see what happens on that side as it decodes what has been passed in.